Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Carey, and welcome to the Deadline Virtual Sundance Studio for our discussion of At the Ready, which is premiering in U.S. documentary competition. Joining us are the film's producer and director, Maisie Crow, and producers Hillary Pierce and Abby Perot. Welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's exciting to have you here. So your film takes place in El Paso, Texas, which for those who don't know is right across the border from Juarez, Mexico, and is really set in a high school that has what to me anyway seemed like a very unusual law enforcement training program. But tell me about Horizon High School and this program that they have.
Yeah, so Horizon High School is located in Horizon City, right on the outskirts of El Paso. And the law enforcement program at the school is one of the largest in the region. They have 5 law enforcement instructors. And so when we were researching this project and the fact that these programs were in schools, that made Horizon a very compelling choice for us in terms of schools to focus on.
Yeah, and you follow 3 characters in particular, 3 high schoolers who were involved in a criminal justice club. Just the idea that a high school would have one is rather eye-opening. But the setting is fascinating because, of course, this is very much an immigrant community. Many of the people who live there have family, excuse me, who are across the border, living in Juarez or elsewhere in Mexico. And so tell me about the high schoolers that you focus on and their career dreams.
We focus on 3 students, Cesar, Christina, and Mason, as they journey through, for Christina, her first year post-graduation, and for the other 2, their senior years in high school. During a time, I think, in the country where the eyes were really on the El Paso Juarez region and the US Mexico border. Um, and so we met these students. They all had different compelling stories that they were all open to sharing. And we really wanted to look at the world through their eyes during this time and in this program. It was a program that surprised me too. And then we learned a lot more about a push for vocational training in Texas high schools, which is really what brought in a lot of classes for law enforcement. And in a region like El Paso, where you have every law enforcement agency from the federal, state, and local governments, you have a lot of jobs there, and they pay well, and they don't require a college degree. And so you very quickly see this opportunity emerge to have a very comfortable middle class life. And I think, you can't fault anyone for wanting to go down that path.
For Hillary and Abby, we see these ethical dilemmas really that surface for the kids who are involved there, because on the one hand, they're really pursuing the American dream, and everybody can back that. But the American dream, as one of the characters, Christina, says, may involve denying the dreams of other people if, for instance, they become border patrol agents, which some of them want to do. We talk about that.
Yeah, I think with Christina especially, you see this very young woman into this program, very naive about a lot of the realities that are to come if she continues her pursuit of the career. And as we journey with her over this first year out of high school, you really see her develop a bigger sense of the national conversation that's been happening all along that maybe was a little out of reach there, because she was, living in it locally. But as these topics intruded, across the national conscience of, these migrant caravans and child separation policies emerging, I think she's really forced to reckon with some of the deep complexities that come with picking a career like that, and whether she wants to steel herself and go forward.
there's so much black and white thinking in the world today. It seems that one thing I really admire about the young adults in the film is that they're thinking critically about these topics and about how they affect their own lives and their own families. And it's really kind of refreshing to see. And it's difficult to see them wrestle with those things. They have very real consequences, but it is also refreshing to see young people seriously considering, the nuance and making decisions for themselves after careful consideration.
Hillary, you worked with Albert Maysles, the great Albert Maysles. You also produced a terrific film, The River and the Wall, which looked at the building of the border wall and particularly its impact on the environment. But I think one of the things that's important is all of you are based in Texas. So you're not outsiders coming in. How important was that for you to really understand the nuances of what's going on there?
Well, I'll answer for Abby and I because we both run the paper here in Marfa. And so we report in this region. And I think there is so much complexity that is often overlooked. I mean, you see that in the way that people were talking about the election results just a few months ago, being surprised at the way the border region voted. And so I think that knowledge and understanding is very important in terms of telling the story. And then, of course, Hillary brought a different perspective and a different, really strong background in the border to the film. So I'll let her talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen The River and the Wall, and then you see this film, they're very different stylistically, but they're very similar in the sense that as Texan storytellers, we do understand the nuance and maybe the unexpected aspects of some of the people you meet down here and their perceptions of things and their beliefs. And I think it is important to be somewhat local, to the story that we're telling, because I do think, to tell it authentically and to tell it with an open mind. I know that it's very important for Macy as a journalist to go in with an open mind. And, she said multiple times, it can be surprising, but as a documentary filmmaker, I think you have to be open to unexpected information and twists and turns and go with that, because that's the truth. And I'm really proud that as Texans and as border residents, we're able to bring the border to those who aren't able to come down here themselves.
And Abby, what are the release plans for the film? Do you know at this point?
I'm gonna throw that one to Macy.
No, okay.
I mean, we're working with Cinetic to get the film out in the world.
Hopefully we'll know more after our premiere on Sunday.
We're excited to share it with you when we are ready.
Yeah, and this is such an unusual Sundance, to say the least. Normally we would all be shivering in Park City, Utah right about now, but it's still an immense honor to be accepted into Sundance, and particularly to play in documentary competition where there's only 10 or 11 films max. So for each of you, briefly, what does it mean to get into Sundance?
I mean, for me, I was shocked. I don't think we were quite ready to get in. It was very overwhelming. And so it's such an honor. And the other films that are showing are just incredible. And I can't wait to see those. It's, many filmmakers who I really respect. And I think, the thing that surprised me about this year is that it's virtual. And that I think I didn't realize how much I would love that, but that means that people from El Paso are going to be able to join us as we premiere the film. And I don't think that'd be able to happen otherwise.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's an immense honor. I've been working in documentary film for about a decade or so now, and multiple times I've been disappointed not to get into Sundance, and it's so nice to be honored in that way, and to have you know, Macy and Abby and the rest of the crew, like our work, to be able to be shared with so many people on such an incredible and respected platform. I mean, it's such an honor.
And Abby.
Yeah, I mean, I've never gotten a chance to go to Sundance, so why start now? I am very excited to do it virtually. We've got our like Oculus headset. Like, I think it'll be exciting and strange, and I'm just like so thankful to the programmers for giving us this chance. And like Macy said, I'm just excited that, you know, my mom is going to get to tune in. She wouldn't be able to go to Park City, and a lot of the characters in the film and the community in El Paso is, you know, being allowed to see it the same day anyone else is. And I think that's amazing.
Well, congratulations to all of you. The film is at the ready, premiering in U.S. documentary competition at Sundance. We've been joined by director-producer Macy Crow and producers Hillary Pierce and Abby Perot. And we wish you all the best and going forward with the film. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you,
us.
Matthew.